imagine? Can you imagine?
Okay, hi guys. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be discussing the altercation between the Unizik student and her lecturer. I'm not sure he was a lecturer, but a lecturer. And with me today, I have J Fams. Do you want
to introduce myself?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. I'm J Fams, director and lead trainer of Elite IT Careers and convener of Complete Wellbeing.
And then we have
Big Papa in your area code 234+44 anytime, any place, anywhere.
okay. Anyway, so we've all seen the video making rounds on the internet about the altercation between I think she was a year three student. I can't remember her course now, but she's a year 3 student, and the lecturer. And we're not talking about the whole video because there's a big chunk in the story that's missing, but we're going to be focusing on the issue of personal space, which would mainly form like the first part of the video. And I think J Farms has something to say about that.
Yes, I do. Before I jump into it, before people conclude, I do not condone behavior or the actions or reactions she made. When the lecturer was passing by, in my opinion, there was more than enough room for him to have walked past. Why? He didn't need to turn, he didn't need to squeeze. And having watched that video again, it was like a corridor. He was going up the stairs and there was space. But he touched her and said, "Excuse me." In the Nigerian culture, there's no big deal in that. But we need to understand personal space. You don't need to touch to alert someone you're there. But I don't know if we've got hearing issues because people hoot their car. And again, if you don't hoot, someone's going to run into you, but it continues to hoot and people don't mind personal space. And I want to take it beyond that scene and let you see, just to talk of why I think personal space is an issue. So for me, growing up as a child, I'm a Yoruba boy. And I greet my older ones by prostrating. But people just love to rub your head. Just rub your head and all that. So I would stay 2 meters away to avoid that.
Yeah.
You go to church, ushers are trying to get someone to walk past you, or even in a party, or past maybe the offering basket, and you get tapped when they could have spoken to you. At times you might be praying or worshiping, and someone taps you, they can wait. Or they don't need to touch. That's just what I'm saying. The same thing happened in buses, where the conductor taps you to say, "Pass me the change," or "Pay these things." This touch thing, I just think we don't understand boundaries. Typical example, Tejo Market.
Yeah.
If you grew up in Lagos, those hustlers just pull customers and at times abuse them, and touching. So I believe there's a need to understand that, personal space is important and you don't need to touch to get someone's attention, except, it's the only option or the last resort.
Right. So in what sense would you think personal space, touching someone to grab their attention makes sense?
When is the absolute last resort? One, if you've got a relationship with someone, if it's your buddy or friend, that's fine. Because you guys have that understanding. I've known some friends who, that could be fine or allowed, but a complete stranger, so let's go back to that lecturer and let's assume the corridor was really narrow and he had to squeeze past. Then it makes, and he's been there for a while, or she's got headphones on, which she didn't, then it would be okay to tap to make her aware, "I'm here and I need to pass." Plus, she was in a way obstructing, movement. So in that case, yes, it's fine. But in this case, he was going somewhere. I guess he didn't want to waste time, but he still didn't need to do that tap to walk.
Yeah, but
to walk by.
I saw the video. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't even look like he really tapped her. Like it was barely any
touch.
sort. It was less than casual. Even it was something so
innocent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the receiver of that touch did not appreciate it. And this is a bit the cultural thing comes in where people don't say big deal. You know, anyone can touch. It's like you go to the market now and you want to give 50, 15 naira, 100 naira. All those kids will rushing you, trying to hold you, you know, pull and all that. And I understand in that case, you know, desperation and co. But we've got this culture where we don't understand that coming into someone's space is wrong. These things even happen in clubs where you're trying to talk to someone, the body language says they don't want to talk to you, but you still encroach.
If you're in a public space,
Yeah.
can you necessarily claim that this space is my personal space? You're in a public, especially in that video, she was in a public space.
Yeah, she was in public.
I know that even though we're in a public space, we still have our entitlement to our personal space.
Yeah.
But did you not think she was in the way of other people? Inka, what do you think?
I think society has become more sensitive to personal space, or the issue of personal space in the workplace and in public generally. What was considered a norm in the 70s and the 80s and 90s probably is considered out of touch or harassment. Regarding this particular incident, you know, if I throw a conspiracy theory, is that was she play acting to the camera? If the
Play acting before the lecturer came into view, you mean?
No. Was she play acting to the camera? If the camera wasn't on at that point of time, would she have reacted the way she
I see what you mean.
You understand me? And so, you know, research shows that people behave when they know they're being filmed. Research indicates that people
behave irrationally.
No. People sometimes overemphasize a particular incident, so
or over exaggerate their reaction to it,
and the ego kind of kicks in as well.
So I think because if you look at it, when he does slightly touch her, her first reaction was to look at the camera, and then look at the guy, and then she's looking at the guy. And there's a certain part of play acting that was involved. So I'm just curious how it led to how it ended.
If she was play acting, then at that point she must have been doing a live shoot. Because if she wasn't doing a live shoot, then
I play acting. I think it's unfair to say play acting. Let's use the word over exaggerated the impact and her reaction. I think it was slightly over exaggerated because really and truly, if somebody does touch you, your immediate reaction is to the person, not to the camera. So if there's no camera there, your only reaction is to the person. Her initial reaction was to the camera, and you know. So I think that probably the camera being on and whoever audience are, she over exaggerated her response.
At the end of the day, we'll never find an answer. We'll never get the answer to that now, if that was really what she was up to. Overall, I feel her reaction to the video, to the touch from that man was yes, I agree with you in that sense. It was exaggerated because when I look at it, it didn't really look like he made a lot of contact.
That's right.
He didn't shove her at all. He did touch her, but it wasn't a shove. Like if he shoved her, she would have, jerked forward. But that wasn't there. I think she just really wanted to. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe she was play acting to the camera. I don't know.
No, the thing I picked in Larry what Yinka said is when the guy touched on walked past, I think she was oblivious to our environment, and our first reference was like, "Did you see that?" I.e., to confirm. Did you just?
But I don't
see
think she was saying that to the camera. I think she was saying that to
someone
someone.
else?
Someone
Yeah.
was
So
there.
like, did you see that?
Mhm.
That man just touched me.
Mhm.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
So for her, she might be a touchy person.
Mm.
Because what is okay about you, for me, it's an issue.
Yeah.
So he was like, that man just touched me, and he's a complete stranger. He's right in the sense that the person she was with, I feel the ego kicked in. Like, can you believe, this person just touched me?
So I think she must have felt a bit embarrassed.
Not embarrassed, but she
You don't
just
think
felt
so?
like,
If somebody shoved you in the presence of your friend, you will feel a bit of embarrassment.
no, I think it's ego.
I just think her reaction was over exaggerated because she had an audience. Even if
on the camera,
Not even on the camera or the friends.
Yeah, even if it's an audience of one, she had an audience and she, reacted, and that could have led to her overreacting in the incidents that we don't see because from that slight
from that scene, it just went from 0 to 100 in the subsequent scenes. So, but bringing that back again to general personal space, body contact in Nigeria, people don't really respect other people's personal space, and I do agree in that sense. But whether or not there's going to be a cultural shift as time goes, I don't know. But I think we've seen a cultural shift with a lot of other topics. What's that?
I've seen at partisan weddings when they're giving out these souvenirs that, because when they actually tell you, pass it to that person, take, just moving things over your head.
What about that lady that was shipping for people that didn't buy?
and then maybe there was one left and it's Yankee off you, So basically, what I'm saying is that
do they really do this? They take it off you.
Because he's not wearing Ashobi. But the thing is, before passing it, there's no courtesy to say, excuse me. He's looking for pass to that person. You just say, take, give, and at times they'll touch you. So a lot of times we do it is okay, but it doesn't make it right.
Yeah, but again, I feel like we're the ones feeling this way. I don't think Nigerians care.
It's a societal thing because you go back to, like I said, you go back to the 70s, you go back to the 80s, and don't forget, from a Nigerian point, we come from a very communal environment, so we're close together, we live close together, etc., etc. But what happened in the 60s, 70s, and 80s is no longer accepted in society. How we especially communicate with the other sex physically is no longer, there's norms that you have to adhere to. And when you go through the onboarding process, they touch on it gently about, your interaction with the other sex and things like that. So it's a societal thing. And, from the Me Too movement, people are becoming more and more conscious in, with sexism and things like that. They're more conscious how you react to the other sex. And it could be deemed sexual harassment for him touching her in the way he touched her in certain circumstances, i.e., if he was in a professional environment and he did that to a member of staff,
to be fair, he'll be in hot water if it was.
If it was an HR issue.
It becomes an HR issue. I'm not sure how they'll deal with it, but those comes an HR issue, and we know in today's, in today's society, the things we did when we went into employment, and things we said, we don't say them anymore because society has moved more to a position whereby things like that is deemed as sexism. So if you saw what happened in the Spanish situation with the Spanish FA when the women won the World Cup, and
there's a trial going on currently.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when I saw it the first time, I didn't really think anything of it.
How would you not think anything of it?
No, because it looked, first of all, I saw it innocuous because I just saw it as sports people reacting to the situation of of winning. You understand me?
But he didn't kiss everybody else like that. It was just her he kissed like that.
Well, yeah, she was a captain, and
So that makes it okay.
I'm not justifying anything, but I was. I have to be careful what I say here now. I was interested in how events turned out, and I was wondering, well, if that was a male versus male, would it have got the same type of?
But I think
Well, male versus male wouldn't be kissing each other like that in the first place.
But I think in this case,
what if he was a homosexual and he found that as a sexual advance? Because the act was deemed,
that's even wrong.
the act was deemed as sexist. Yeah. So, what if he did that to a homosexual man? Would that be seen as sexist?
It probably will. It depends on how the player takes it. If he didn't like it, it would have still been the big issue.
Yeah. Yes, that's where I'm going. So
yeah.
In that whole incident, if that captain did not feel comfortable with that case, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
But yeah, so the question is that at the time when it happened, obviously nobody's in our mind. I didn't see a reaction from her whereby she felt uncomfortable. It all looked spontaneous.
At the time,
it
didn't look like she was. But sometimes when we react, we don't react immediately.
It looks spontaneous.
It's moments later that you're given a second, third, fourth thought that, oh my God.
So, it could have been, it could have been an honest mistake, by him. It could have been an honest mistake.
Maybe he got carried away.
And maybe he got carried away by the moment. But society or the Me Too movement deemed it as a serious sexual offense, and the sanctions brought to him was quite severe.
The funny thing is, none of us here was privy to the moments after that kiss. It's possible that she didn't even take it as a big deal, and then she got into the.
It wasn't noticed.
And then the following morning, the newspaper picked it up.
She might not even realize that. She might not even just your energy.
People start talking into her ears, and she's like, "Okay."
So what I understand, when I say they had a relationship, what I mean they had a relationship. They had a professional relationship. You understand me? So. It was a spontaneous reaction to the moment. You understand? So the situation is that what if that was a male versus male? Would that have been the same reaction? And if the same reaction is not given from the media or whoever or the pressure groups, if they don't give the same reaction to a male versus male, then it might be so it's deemed as a sexual advance, an unwanted sexual advance.
But my question is, if he was coaching a male team, would he have kissed the captain?
Exactly. That's the question.
Answer is probably.
But I've seen footballers kiss each other.
Where? On the lips?
Oh yeah.
Where?
Emotionally, they just kiss each other. They give each other a peck on the cheek. I've seen
on the cheek, not lips. He kissed her on the lips.
Was it on the lips?
Yes.
Yeah.
If it was on the cheek, we wouldn't be here talking about it.
I believe it's on the lips,
but I've seen footballers kiss each other on the lips, but they don't.
But you just say you've seen them kiss each other on the cheeks. Now you change it to lips.
No. I've seen them kissing too. Whether, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter whether it's on the. It doesn't matter whether it's on the cheeks or the lips or the actors
in question the make a force.
Yeah. It doesn't weigh.
So you didn't make a force.
The way he kisses her is irrelevant. You understand me?
It's not irrelevant.
No, it is.
If somebody kisses me on the cheek, it's friendly. If you go to my lips, it's a different thing.
Yeah, I understand that, and I agree with that. But a spontaneous moment when you say and things like that, you don't at that point say, I need to kiss him on the cheeks, I need to kiss him. You just kiss him whatever space seems available.
I don't do that. I'm not.
I don't know. Only he knows whether that was premeditated and what he did. But if it was, it's very stupid in front of the whole world. In front of the whole world. So that's why I don't really think.
You don't know though.
I don't think it was premeditated, but it could have been, and from what I saw it, people saw it, and from the sanctions that were brought from him, it was seen as a sexual harassment issue.
Do we all agree that when it comes to personal space, whether you're friends with the person or not, there are just certain things that you shouldn't do in public because both of you might be okay with it. The public might see it differently. And if you're in a very like prominent position in society, it will affect you. It will affect your image, your good standing, or whatever it is you want to call it.
But don't forget, there's that split atom of a second whereby human nature reacts to the situation. And at that point of time, you don't think about who's watching or you're just reactive. Like when you score a goal, you know, how many times, you know,
Yeah, I understand. Like in football.
Yeah, how you score. So you know, you've just won the World Cup. You're going to pick up the World Cup. Your coach or your manager or the head of the FA is there. You grab him, and what if
you give him a kiss? Yeah.
What?
Look, the best thing is let everyone just keep their lips to themselves. Just keep your lips, keep your hands to yourself, and then no one's gonna get in trouble.
But don't forget, it was an sporting. It was in a sporting environment. So I think it's an interesting precedence that they've set.
Well, the contrary, right? If you remember the World Cup in Russia, I think Croatia came second or third.
Second,
and their FA manager was a woman, and she and she was fit.
Oh yeah, that.
And she hugged.
No, she was a president.
She was a president.
Yeah, nice
girl.
She hugged all the guys.
She hugged all the guys, and I think
there's nothing wrong with hugging.
Feel them because a lot of people are like, wow. A lot of people wish.
Do you know what? You see, another thing.
A lot of people wish.
There's an
important point. Players.
Yeah, no. A point you've just raised is that if the woman is the initiator of the incident, it's not really deemed as sexual harassment.
Yeah, but let's can we compare?
Because she was the initiator.
Wait, but can we compare like for like? She wasn't kissing them on the lips, was she? She was just giving them hugs.
She was giving them hugs.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with the hug.
And I was hugging her back.
Okay, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Remember that?
We're going to end this here. We've exhausted it. And
I remember the incident, but I don't know who.
We've exhausted this topic, and the conclusion is personal space. We need to be mindful of other people's personal space.
Kissing.
You know, no touching people inappropriately, no kissing someone unsolicited, and just keep your hands to yourself, keep your lips to yourself. Even if you feel like you're cool with this person, we don't know. They might just be in a bad mood that day and not, be very receptive of your gestures. Thank you for watching.